Hello, everybody. Richard Hart here. Hope everyone's having a good Christmas. Some of you aren't. Some of you, Christmas sucks. And so here I am to try and share the Christmas spirit and the Christmas joy with you. So we're here together. I hope wherever you are in the world that you're making the best of it. Where are we at? Well, we're at Bitcoin at 87.5K. We're at Ethereum at 2950. And all the RH founded stuff is wrecked. Everybody's wrecked. PulseX, I think, did 16M of SAC, more or less, 16.3M. And then the prices dumped for the SAC. And then somebody bridged in something from many months ago and then doubled the price on PulseX, more or less. And then the community sold it directly down again. Right back down. So I don't know. I thought it was a cool theory that the weekends would be shaken out. Look, new shiny thing, cool. And then the weekends are like, who's the guy? The David Goggins guy. He just runs a lot. There's a pretty funny image of David Goggins with the text is, "The sellers are exhausted." And underneath it says, "The sellers." It's a picture of David Goggins running. So yeah, everybody likes to project so there's a recency bias. So anything that's recent is what people assign causality to. So like the news says, oh, price is down. What just happened? Okay, that must be related. That's not how real life works. Crypto's kind of wrecked right now, depending on what your reference point is. I mean, not so many months ago, Ethereum was $1,400 or $1,500. Now it's $3,000, which sucks compared to the $5,000 it was, 4 years ago, or even a few months ago itself. I don't know, maybe 5 months ago, something like that. It's hard to memorize all the charts across all different time frames. So, when you're in a community and you're looking at the prices and you're wondering, well, what is it that's going on in the community that's affecting the prices? A lot of the times it's things that are going on outside of the community. So, crypto has the most regulatory certainty, the most adoption by legacy, the most integration with banks, the best this, the best that, the best SEC we've had in years, you name it. And it's only 87.5K. 4 years ago, I called the top on the day at 65K. So, being up 20%, not that great when, gold's up maybe 70% on the year, something like that. But look, China is buying gold to replace their US dollar reserves. China's not buying, at least to the best of my knowledge, as much crypto as they're buying gold. And that you see it on the price chart, right? The cycle is interesting. So I said a long time ago that Bitcoin was coming to the top of its S-curve. And this is what the top of an S-curve looks like. It looks like a lot of sideways, limp pumps. It's interesting. The value proposition is still there. Banks still suck as hard as they ever have. Currencies still suck as hard as they ever have. Who would really ever make fun of Bitcoin for being $87,500 when I mined it for free when it was 50 cents? I mean, that's what, nearly a 200,000x. That ain't too bad. But look, if everyone, I called the Rolex watch top on the day, or not on the day, maybe like within a month of the top. And Rolex prices have been demolished. AP prices are demolished. Crypto prices are far lower than they were months ago, right? This is not something that's localized to whatever community you're in. This is a global macro, things aren't, it's easy to predict the future when the past and the current look real similar, but things are weird, right? So government chose hyperinflation instead of market dump. And then the things that hyperinflated are the things you didn't have. So China started buying gold. People bought the Magnificent Seven or the Magnificent Five, whatever it is, stocks, Nvidia, et cetera. And then, I think crypto has kind of macro competition in that there's so much gambling crap going on. So all this like sports betting, I believe, competes with crypto and is the worst imaginable thing for humans. And then now that sports betting has basically nothing in common with crypto, but the people that participate in it have similar mindsets. They like excitement. They like things that move fast. You could call them low time frame oriented. So, when people want to make 100x in a day, it's hard for them to zoom out. They do whatever the new shiny thing is, or the thing is shoved down their throat. And sports betting is shoved down people's throat. And prediction markets are similar to sports betting. So prediction markets, sports betting, they're both not that great for crypto, in my opinion, because they compete for the same use cases. Well, they don't compete for the same use cases, but they compete for similar user experiences of, yes, that could make you rich or poor, right? So can you imagine if you were sitting at Rolex headquarters and you're like, man, why aren't Rolexes worth much anymore? Or not as much as they were worth not so long ago. I know a certain somebody that lost a lot of millions of dollars on their Rolex collection. Is it because of prediction markets? Is it because of sports betting? Not really. I mean, maybe a little bit, but So crypto being in the same boat as Rolex being in the same boat as used car prices or new like SF90 prices or whatever, it's people don't have money, right? So you can come up with all the nice narratives you want, but the fact that watches and crypto and lots of stocks that aren't the Magnificent Seven or Five, there's just people don't have money. That's what's up. It happens sometimes. And the guys at the Fed know that, which is why they're starting to lower rates. And traditionally, markets crash after they lower rates. Will it do it this time? I have no idea. I don't know. This only happens once every very, very long time, right? Every 10 or 20 years. You get one of these, like the rates went up, now they're going back down again things. And there's too many things. I mean, the governments that are in control of these things, they're very hard to predict. For instance, if you wanted to compete with China in AI, probably one of the worst things you could do is make it so that they couldn't buy NVIDIA chips, which you control because it's a U.S. company. And then you force them to go and make their own stuff, which they're very good at making their own stuff. And so now they're going to make their own stuff. And the CHIPS Act, which made it illegal to sell certain levels of strength of chips to China, basically mid and long term forced China probably to become dominant in that space. Not yet, but what space aren't they dominant in? Like, not that many, right? Well, not gaming, not software, not chip manufacturer yet, but any other material thing, solar, batteries, electric cars, drones. Speaking of which, drones, the United States did another very interesting law thing today. The FCC said that it would not allow the registration of new designs from DJI, the company that makes half of all the drones in the world. How does that benefit America? I don't really understand. This would be like stopping Americans from buying the best chips or the best. I don't understand. I don't really understand how it improves the national security situation to make sure Americans have more expensive or less selection of drones. I don't get it. It's not like they're controlled by the cloud and China could turn them on and, I don't know, make them do evil. I don't understand. So now, like, I really don't get it. I think the CHIPS Act basically harmed United States national security interests. And I really don't understand how making it so that you can't buy a new DJI drone helps. Maybe someone can explain it to me. Go on x.com and post about it. So yeah, you're not specifically wrecked price-wise for reasons that are all too different than Rolex and Ferraris and most other stuff. So the prices of things is based on supply and demand. The amount of money that people buy stuff, which directly influences demand, has run short. Maybe in part it's due to tariffs. You know, people historically don't understand what tariffs tend to do. They tend to kind of feel like this, you know. The people get the same stuff, but it costs them more money to do it. People don't realize that tariffs are paid by the consumer. It's just a different kind of tax. They're not paid by the manufacturer. They're not paid. They're paid by the importer. And when the importer has to pay more, they're going to charge you more. That's it, period. So, yeah. Long story short, I liked crypto and watches and cars better when the people were getting stimmy checks directly into their mailbox and buying the stuff that they liked. And what they liked is exotic watches, exotic cars, and crypto. So, you know, crypto is this interesting thing where it's a world-changing innovation that really can improve the world and increase man's agency and self-reliance and removal of middlemen, increasing of efficiency. But to get there, to get all those nice things, you have a lot of people FOMO gambling and doing stupid stuff. It's one of the few places where people doing stupid stuff leads to positive outcomes for humanity, pretty much. So what else is going on? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm basically just here to tell you guys that I'm here with you. I'm in the same situation as you. I wish prices were higher. I think there's a nonprofit foundation in the United States that's sitting on nearly 1 million, if not already 1 million, LCD writing tablets that have a market value of maybe this device or similar would cost about $15 at Staples. You can get them a lot cheaper on Amazon, but not branded, or maybe with not, you know, without magnets, things like that. You would wish that you would just send stuff, branded merch to people, and they would just love it. They're like, yeah, this is awesome. They jump right in. But if people don't have money, it doesn't matter what you send them. Now, is everyone broke? No, not everyone's broke. If you had bought the Magnificent 5 or 7, you probably got a lot of money. Congratulations to you. If you've been holding gold forever or silver forever, congratulations. But this, you know, imagine being in Michael Saylor's position or Tom Lee's position. Michael Saylor bought billions of dollars of Bitcoin. And if he were to try and sell right now, he'd probably be cash negative after the price slipped against him. And Tom Lee bought billions of dollars of Ethereum. And if he were to sell right now, the slippage would also probably put him cash negative. You might be cash negative without having had to buy billions of dollars. It's like, man, where do these guys get the coins to sell? My goodness. Like if you look at PulseX, so PulseX now has burnt what people consider to be 8.5% of the, like, what they call the retail supply. I'm not sure how accurate the term is, but that's a lot of coin burning. It makes you wonder. I've tried to explain Heart's a lot of people, and there's a specific nuance to it in that if you have a coin that is tied to stablecoin in a pair, when someone wants to buy your coin, the bot has to buy the other side of the pair. So if you bought Trump coin and it was tied with USDC and it was on the Solana network, you had to turn your Solana into USDC to get the Trump out. And then the trading pair has more USDC. And the net effect is that the Solana got sold for USDC in order for someone to get Trump. So it was a net down on the system. And so when you look at blockchains and their prices, if you have something that appreciates on a chain, but its majority is tied to stablecoin, other people will sell the native token to get the stable, to get the coin that they want. And so you have this, I don't know if you call it a dilemma, but like a design space decision where if things run and they're tied to stable, you might nuke the other coins compared to stable. And so if you like reflexivity, you want everything tied to everything else. The problem with that is if something nukes, it hurts everything else. If something runs, it helps everything else, as long as everything's priced in the native. And so you wonder, you're like, you almost want to do the science and do the math and look at like, what would it look like if everything on the chain was majority tied to stable? And then when something ran, I mean, my gut feeling is that the reflexivity is still the way to go, because you've seen it work so many times. You know, you saw Solana go up when everyone was in the trenches launching new tokens. You saw Ethereum go up when people were launching ICOs on it. I still think that in a bull market, the reflexivity of everything tied to native is probably the right play, because I've never seen it work any other way. I've never seen a chain where the majority of the coins were tied to stables and then in like, yeah, I don't know. It would be one of those interesting thought experiments. There's other like interesting thought experiments, like nested liquidity layers. So what if coin A is tied to coin B, and then B is tied to C, and then C is tied to D, and then A moves up? Well, how much reflexivity is there between B, C, and D on a graph, on a chart? I think it'd be real fun to see that kind of chart. Yeah, so battle plan. People still buy garbage, lots of it, billions of dollars of it. I think that they would buy something better if it were offered to them. And unless you've refined and done every single thing that you can think of to have an effective sales pitch, an effective user experience, a unique value proposition, you should work to that end. So right now, the Pulsechain ecosystem, I feel, is really good. The software is reliable. The software has been up years. The front ends have stayed up and been more durable against supply chain attacks and everything else, that they were designed better than other people's. You don't have, like, for instance, the Aave ecosystem is getting wrecked by infighting between Aave Labs, which builds some software, and the DAO being starved of buy and burn. So they're being starved of trading fees. The DAO's upset about it. So that price is nuking due to internal political pressure. PulseX is sweeter. It's like, the buy and burn works great. It doesn't have this stupid arguing stuff. Everything is just designed really well, works really well. But in a world where Rolex can't hold their price up, and all of crypto can't hold its price up, hey, guess what? Your price is going to be down. And so what's the trick? What's the magic? The magic and the trick is to keep building things that help each other over and over and over again. And I feel that eventually you get to a bottom with the number of people on-ramping and the economic energy in exceeds the economic energy out. I don't think people have infinite coins they can sell. And I think people, if they are exposed to multiple options and are able to evaluate some of those options being better than others, they should buy the better thing. I think that the Pulsechain, PulseX, Hex, soon to be ProveX stuff, I think it's just better. I think there's a lot of stuff out there is trash, but people buy the trash because it's what's offered to them. So whatever it takes, whether it's email or phone calls or going door to door or figuring out better text to include with your free merchandise, say an LCD writing tablet, whatever those things are is what you have to do, because people are getting pitched trash constantly. Here, sports betting. Here, prediction markets. Here, bet whether a guy says this word or that word. That's not going to move society forward. That doesn't build lasting value. The things in this ecosystem that keep reinforcing each other. I mean, that 8.5% that people talk about being burnt on PulseX, I think that eventually has an effect. Those coins are gone forever. They're burnt. There's no inflation. They can only burn. I think if you build more things like that, eventually the supply just keeps shrinking. And then whenever you drip in some demand, it should hit harder. So that's a theory. And that's what I believe in. And look, I've been here through, not so many months ago, Ethereum was $1,500. Months, homies, not years, months. And before that, Ethereum went from 1,500 to 88. 2 digits, 88. That was 4 or 5 years ago, right? Late 2021, I think. So this stuff's volatile. And Rolex is in the same boat you're in, and sports cars are in the same boat you're in. The magic is to just keep doing what you know works or what you believe will work. And I think that having inbound and outbound phone would be great. I think that look, if spokespeople need tried, if hot AI chicks with big boobs need tried, whatever is working for the rest of the world. If you consume adult content, which I came up with a funny phrase for, which I haven't told anybody yet, but it was something along the lines of, porn is where you pay people to not have sex with you. Or no, porn is where you pay people to have sex, but not with you. Something along those lines. I'm sure I could massage it into a good tagline or saying. But some of those people in those porn videos, not that I would ever watch such a thing, but some of those people in porn videos are watching crypto gambling logos, URLs on their clothes. So you can't remove the watermark. Oh, all right. Well, if they've been doing that for years, it must work a little bit. Maybe that's something somebody should try. You got to try all the things, right? Until you have literally tried all the things, the game is you try every single thing, you see what works, and you stick around long enough so that when people have money again, they rotate into the better thing instead of the worst thing. That's my belief. And I think it'll work. And while everyone else disappears, they all go away. I persist. I don't go away. I stay here. And not because I need to be here, but because I need to be here. It's a mental thing. I know I am here for glory. I want my glory. And I think we have the tools that we need to get it. And the stuff that we have now is far better than it ever was before. I mean, Hex ate $50 million of sell pressure just to pay gas fees on the Ethereum network. That sucked. Doesn't have to do that again. On everything is reinforcing everything else. I think it's really, really cool. I believe in it, and I'm just going to keep talking about what I believe in. So I believe in this stuff. I hope you guys are having a good Christmas, as good as it can be. And you got to put things into perspective. There's some people that have all the money in the world, none of the freedom. Money they can't spend. There's some people that have all the freedom and no money. And then there's those people that are lucky enough to appreciate what they have. And those are the rich people. The rich people are the people that appreciate what they have. And there's always something you could appreciate. Try as I might, I'm not one of those happy types. You should be one of them. You're going to be more effective, joyously happy about the process, the journey, so to speak. If you can do that, more power to you. It's free. It's free to appreciate what you've got, and it's the only thing that'll make you truly feel wealthy. There's a lot of people that have a lot worse than you. If you're watching this, you got internet, congratulations. You got a screen, congratulations. You've got speakers, you've got hearing. I mean, congratulations. You got a lot of things going for you. You should focus on them in Christmas, because otherwise you'll be like me. Not that happy, but working very, very hard. No amount of wealth or money could change what I want. What I want is glory, and my glory is not going to come from just money. It's going to come from the success of the things I built. And I'll tell you another thing that people don't understand. A lot of silent guys, they click sell. Who do you think it hurts when they click sell? Well, it hurts the price chart for people that are looking at it, but they're selling into my personality. My life sucks worse when other people press sell. That sucks, man. A lot of you guys out there, when people press sell, it doesn't directly affect your image of yourself. It's probably not that healthy to associate your feeling of success in life, no matter how hard you work, with things outside your control, like the prices when everything's wrecked. Do you think Ethereum should be down cheaper by nearly half after 4 years? Why? Did they not work hard enough? You know what I mean? Do you think Bitcoin, after Saylor bought who knows how many billions of it, should be sitting at a limp dick 1.2x over 65K from 4 years ago? That sucks, right? But you build. Look, Amazon dropped 95% too. It happens, right? The markets are fickle beings. And if you want to win, you keep doing what works. Oh, people want to sell? Cool, sell. Please, go away. Great. Whether people buy or sell or not doesn't affect whether you built the right ecosystem, the right machinery, the right marketing tactics, the right narratives. Doing those things and building those things is completely unrelated to whether people recently bought or sold or not. The focus is on whether you should feel proud in the things that you've built and the things that you're doing. And the price is going to go up and down regardless. Ethereum's the same thing it was when it was $1,500 not so long ago, and then $5,000, and now $2,850 or $2,950. It's the same stuff, more or less. And the prices move around a lot, and that's life. And you just want to keep doing the things that you can be proud of. And some people, they just disappear. And that's all right, too. You know, not everybody's cut out to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. There's a lot of people out there working really hard to make the things you care about more popular and stronger and better. And I like to think I'm one of the people promoting those better systems, those better technologies. See you guys.